I've decided to go the canister filter route. So this is the hood off of the Alligator Snappy Turtle tank, and basically this sits right here with these felt pads. They sit right on top of the aquarium. Well, with a canister filter, of course, this right here is gonna be in the way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna modify this hood. So I am going to glue and nail that piece right there into this spot here, which will allow me to cut this away right here. And because that's really close, I don't think I really have to worry with bracing up here, but if I feel like I need to, I will. But that's the update there. All right, so the hood for the Alligator Snappy Turtle tank has been modified. It will now be able to fit the hosing for the new FX2 filter that I will be installing on the Alligator Snapping Turtle tank. So that'll be coming very shortly. But there's what it looks like right there. So you kind of pull this forward. This is from behind now. Really secure and just allows for that thing to sit along the edge of the tank there with this opening here, so that the hoses can go in and out of the tank there. So that should work well. Another part of the modification process to allow this stand and tank setup to be compatible with a canister filter is I need to basically modify that back plate, which that's some pretty thin stuff I used for the back there. But I need to cut a hole through that so that the hoses can come down in there. Filter's gonna sit right there, so I'm gonna get that done. All right, so that is cut through and ready to go. So tomorrow the FX2 gets here, and I'll be setting that up on this aquarium, and we'll see how that goes. The Alligator Snappy Turtle tank officially has a new filter. I went with the FX2 Fluval canister filter. Set it up exactly how it came from the factory. Just went through the manual, washed everything, rinsed everything out in tank water, and then filled the filter up. That's one thing on the reviews I've seen online. Rarely does anyone mention filling that thing up first, which is, I mean, anything to do with filters, or anything to do with pumps, I should say, I've always known to fill them up first. So I filled that thing up and everything went smoothly. I did add the Matrix biomedia. So I have a full tray of that Matrix biomedia, which everything I've read is it's awesome. And I have the other tray filled with the Biomax rings. So that is the setup right now. Had to modify the stand a little bit. Just cut an opening right there, as shown earlier in the video. But here's the setup right now. It's only been running for like 30 minutes. Got this cool alligator snapper on top right there. The only downside, and it's not really a downside per se as far as the filter is concerned, it's just that intake is way too long for a breeder tank. I mean, with the short height of this tank, that thing is just too long to sit vertically in there. So you have to put it at like a 45-degree angle. So it's fine. It actually probably makes it easier for the pump to pull it at 45 degrees versus, you know, straight up and down the tank there at like a 90. So this is actually a better setup overall. It just, you can see it a little bit more, but it's not that big of a deal. I had an internal filter before, so this thing frees up a lot of space. But there is the FX2 right there from this side. The other modification I had to make was right there at the top of the hood. So I had to cut an opening out there, like I showed in the previous in that video. But yeah, this is the setup right here. So super quiet. I mean, you really can't even hear this thing. If I shut this cabinet right here, yeah, you don't even hear it at all now. So that is the setup. You really can't see it from here. So we'll see how this filter goes. Should be a big improvement over the Tetra Whisper I had. Little update to the video I just did about 30-40 minutes ago. So the pump has been running for about a little over an hour, I'd say right now. And you can see the water level has went up by about 1 inch or 1.5 inches or so. The reason for that is because it started to kind of make some swooshing sounds in there and kind of blow a few little bubbles out of the outtake over there. Because when I read this thing, even though the intake, it goes down into this strainer thing, for whatever reason, it can still pull a little air. So you have to have that thing like 1 inch above where the connection point is here. So that little connection point there, you have to have the water above that. So now everything is good. It's super quiet again. But like I said, that is the only downside I'd say, is that the telescoping intake. I mean, honestly, why didn't Fluval just make that shorter and then allow it to telescope out? There's not a ton of aquariums that are like 30 some inches, which would require that thing to telescope all the way out. So mine's not telescoped out at all, and it still wouldn't even come close to sitting at 90 degrees. So it has to be at that 45-degree angle. So that's the only downside I see so far to this setup. But the water level is a little higher, but I think these guys will do fine with it. I had to raise it up about 2 inches, so we will see how it goes.